Desmond Doss was not born a hero. He was born into hardship, poverty, and a home shadowed by fear and anger. His father, scarred by the horrors of World War I, carried his own battles into the house, and young Desmond learned early that life could be cruel, unyielding, and terrifying. One moment changed everything, a childhood fight with his brother that almost ended in tragedy. As he stared at what he had nearly done, something inside him shifted, a seed of promise planting itself deep in his heart. He would never take another human life. That promise would shape every choice, every sacrifice, and every act of courage that would follow. Guided by an unshakable Christian faith, Desmond believed in the sacredness of every life, that no medal, no order, no law could justify taking another human being. When World War II erupted, he did not flee duty, he did not hide, and he did not shrink from responsibility. He enlisted, but he refused to carry a weapon. From the very beginning, he faced ridicule, hatred, and relentless cruelty from his fellow soldiers. Officers tried to break him, peers mocked him, beatings, taunts, and isolation became his daily companions. Yet through it all, he remained steadfast, calm, and unshaken. His faith became his shield, his conscience his guide, and he endured every humiliation rather than betray the promise he made to himself and to God. Finally assigned as a combat medic, he faced the unthinkable horrors of the battlefield unarmed. The cliffs of Okinawa, later known as Hacksaw Ridge, were a living nightmare. Smoke and fire filled the sky. The screams of dying men echoed like a chorus of despair. Shells tore the earth apart. Bullets tore through air like angry whispers of death. And amidst it all, Desmond Doss moved with quiet, resolute courage. When orders were given to retreat, he stayed behind alone, exposed, crawling through chaos and carnage, guided only by a heart that refused to leave a single man behind. Each life he saved was lifted with trembling arms, lowered down cliffs with ropes carried through mud and smoke, and accompanied by whispered prayers. Time and again, he ignored his own fear, his own wounds, his own pain. Bullets tore through the air, grenades exploded nearby, yet he pressed on. He refused to leave until every man he could reach was safe. By the end of that night, 75 soldiers owed their lives to a man who never fired a single shot. Wounded, bleeding, even shot by a sniper, he still gave his place on the stretcher to another soldier because heroism to him was never about personal survival. It was about sacrifice, pure, unselfish, life-saving sacrifice. When the war finally recognized him, when the Medal of Honor was placed around his chest, Desmond did not seek glory. He stood quietly, carrying the lifelong scars of pain, exhaustion, and suffering, knowing that true bravery is measured not by awards but by the lives saved, the conscience followed, and the heart that refuses to break under pressure. His story proved that courage does not always roar, that strength does not always destroy, that the greatest warriors are often those who choose compassion over violence, mercy over hatred, faith over fear. Desmond Doss, through unwavering belief, faith, and unimaginable sacrifice, changed the meaning of heroism forever. He reminded the world that mercy can shine brightest in the darkest hours, that a single man, guided by conscience and love, can save countless lives, and that real courage is measured not by the weapons one carries, but by the lives one protects. Even after returning home, his battles did not end. Lifelong injuries haunted him. Pain never left his body, yet he lived humbly, never seeking recognition, never claiming greatness, only living a life guided by faith and by the quiet knowledge that he had done what was right. Desmond Doss's courage was not loud. It did not roar. It did not seek applause. Yet it spoke louder than guns, louder than bombs, louder than fear itself. It was a courage born of conscience, of compassion, of a heart that refused to kill, even when the world demanded it. 75 men survived that hellish night, 75 lives saved by a single soul, and through them, the story of a man who stood unarmed, yet stronger than any army, lives on. Desmond Doss taught the world that heroism is not measured by violence, but by sacrifice, not by weapons, but by mercy, not by power, but by love. In every act of courage, in every life saved, in every quiet prayer whispered under fire, his legacy endures. a testament to the power of faith, the strength of conscience, and the unbreakable human spirit. The story of Desmond Doss reminds us that even in the darkest places, one man guided by love, courage, and unwavering conviction can shine a light bright enough to change the world forever.